Hi, it's Bob with Aspire at Sayusla High School. We're going to start working today on the OSAC application for scholarships. OSAC stands for Office of Student Access and Completion, and it is also the way that you start applying for Oregon Promise. So let's go into OSAC and see what we find. And I'm going to just type in up here in search OSAC Oregon. And I get to this, and the reason I typed Oregon is because there is a corporation with the initials OSAC, and we don't want to go to that. Now from here, I'm going to go to the OSAC student portal. And this is what you will see when you start. Now, notice that I already have a username and password over here. You won't because you haven't registered yet. So the first thing you will need to do is click on register and go through this process, and notice that you do need your social security number. So once you register, now I'm going to back up because I want to show you what I've already put in here so that we can go through this relatively quickly. So I'm going to log in over here. And now I have put in a test application. So I'm going to go to that and we'll go to edit. And this way you can see what it is that you have to do. Now, you're going to start out with, let's go to, I want to see my profile here. Okay. This is my dashboard, and these are all the steps that you have to take, all the pages you have to complete in order to file the OSAC application for scholarships. There are about 600 scholarships listed in OSAC that you can apply for. When you go through the application process, the system will come up with some recommendations. The recommendations are typically not very useful. And in fact, many of the scholarships in OSAC are not going to apply to you. But nevertheless, there are a few that will apply, and it's certainly worth giving it a try. So, we're going to start up here with my account, and we're going to look at these. There will be no green check marks when you begin. So, you're going to start filling these out as you go. Now, I've put in an email address for myself, and I don't need to change my password. And my email address has been verified. So what happens is when you put in your email address, then they're going to send you a code. You will verify the email address. I'm sure you've done this before. And then it will come back and tell you that it's been verified. So I'm simply going to continue from here on to the next page, which is number 2, identifying information. I heard about this from my Aspire office or Aspire mentor. I've put in my name here, and I've put in a fake birth date because I want it to be in the year that you may well have been born, so that you can see how this works if you are a high school senior or a junior who's graduating. Now, I've put in a social security number here. You will need to put in your own, and I certify that I am the person named above. So we continue. The next page, number 3, is contact information. I put in a fake street address here, 123 Main Street in Florence, Oregon, and I put in a fake telephone number. You will put in your own and move to continue. Now, primary contact relationship would be a parent in many cases for you all. It might be a spouse or partner if you're married or living with someone else. I put in other because I didn't want to put in my wife's real information here, so I put in that this is a friend whose name is Friendly Friend. I put in a telephone number. I could have also put in a second telephone number, and I put in her address, which is also 123 Main Street. I approve this contact. I check the box over here, and I'm moving on to the next page. Number 5. About me. I'm a U.S. citizen. I am a resident of Oregon for the past 12 months. If not, you will indicate where you've lived before you lived in Oregon. You do need to have filed the FAFSA when you do this, or you plan to file. Date you filed or will file the FAFSA. So if you haven't already, you could put in a future date, but it should be in the relatively near future that you plan to file the FAFSA. If you don't file a FAFSA, you will not go any further because you will be disqualified from applying for any need-based scholarships. Now, there are some that are not need-based, so you might want to continue, but I highly recommend you file the FAFSA. Okay, down here, I'm not working 20 hours or more a week. Are you planning to work 20 hours or more during the next academic year? Now, that's up to you, but you may be getting a job that's 20 hours or more, and in which case you want to mark yes. Gender, you have choices here, or you can decline to state. I have not been living in foster care. If you have, that's important to note. I'm not Hispanic or Latino. My racial group is white. I go down here, and these are a couple of releases that you can read and indicate if you agree or don't agree, and continue. Now, I am pretending for these purposes that I do not have children, although in fact I do, and I am also indicating that I'm single, although in fact I'm married. I'm trying to create this as it might be for you. Parents' marital status, you can indicate that. And if you happen to know what level of school each of your parents completed, you can fill that in. Otherwise, you can hit other or unknown and continue. Over here, indicate the name of your high school and your grade point average. I made one up for myself here, and I also made up some SAT scores. The Aspire program, did you work with Aspire? Presumably you have, and in that case, you need to fill in the name of your Aspire mentor, which could be me, or it could be someone else that you've worked with in the Aspire office. I'm going back to no for purposes of this, and then I'm going to hit continue again. Next page, number 8. College history. For most of you, this will be never attended college. And you have not completed a degree, and you will not be completing a degree in the next, by the fall of 2019. So we're going to move on. And I indicated here my college of choice is Oregon State. You might put University of Oregon, or you might put some other school. It might be Lane Community College, whatever it is that you intend to do. If you're not sure, put something down and continue, and you can always go back later and add other schools. Now, my plans at this point, as a pretend student, I will be getting a degree, a bachelor's degree in science, in environmental science. I don't have a double major. I expect to complete in June of 2022. And I indicated down here some other career interests. This is important because it's based on this information that the system will be coming up with possible scholarships for which you might apply. So we continue. On the next page, scholarships. Now, as you can see up here, you have the option to apply for 40 more scholarships. Look first at their recommendations. And they are over here. Now, what came up first is Ford Scholars, and that's because I indicated I have a good grade point average, and I am going on to a 4-year college, although that's not critical for Ford. I certainly will apply for that. And there will be, if you apply to Ford, there will be another essay that you have to write. So you can check this information out. Here's the next required information and another essay. Please describe either a situation that reflected your values in a positive way or an incident you wish you had handled differently. Okay. I'm going to now continue. This takes me back to the page. No, sorry, it did not. I want to go back to the page where, here, recommended for you. And back to this page. Now, there are some here, and you can look at each of these. Indicate if you want to apply. So you hit apply, and then if you decide you don't want to, you can unapply. But I would look at these. At the same time, we have some recommendations in the Aspire office for scholarships that might be more applicable to you and your particular interests. But a few of these might be worthwhile to consider. Now, once you've done that, And I'm going to apply for another one here for land surveyors. And so I will now continue. All right, 2 of those have come up, and that's all I'm going to apply for. Hopefully you will have more, and I'm going to hit continue. Now, you will need to get a copy of your transcript, request from your high school, and you can upload it or you can print, and I would recommend you print out a transcript request form and give it to your high school counselor. That would be Mr. Moser. And I will continue at this point. Now, I'm going to stop here because this has been a long video, and to cover the volunteer activities and work history, we will take that up in the next video. So we'll close out here, and I'll see you again.